My name is Anna Hill-Jones. I'm a sophomore. I'm affiliated with the Academy of Engineering through EngineerGirl. Today I'm here with Dr. Deligianni. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And she is a really, really big career woman. I'm super excited to be talking to her today. If you'd like to give us a small introduction about like what you do and stuff like that, that would be great.
So, hi, I'm Lili Deligianni. I'm an engineer. I'm a chemical engineer, actually, by training. And I have done many things throughout a 35-year plus career. But what I do now is I lead a startup, and the startup is called Sense for Me, and it's in the medical field. So what we're trying to do is we are trying to measure physiological signals, the physiology of the body, and understand those moments of high risk for people who have addiction issues, and more specifically, issues with alcohol. So we can measure when the person is about to drink, and we provide just-in-time intervention.
So like when you're like coming into the office, doing this amazing like work, what is your like day to day like? What activities are you like consistently doing throughout the day to try to do all this?
Well, when you are part of a startup, a small company, you really have to do everything. And it's not only doing the technical work, but also trying to do measurements with people who have this issue, and try to compare with healthy individuals what the differentiation is in the measurements, but also thinking about the business. And the business aspects are about who do I have as a team, and is the team complete and able to really develop the work on their own? But also, how do I, because this is a small business, how do I make profit? Ultimately, when the product is sold, is there a business? Is there somebody who wants to buy this product?
Why did you like specifically want to go into engineering? Did you like know since you were like 2 years old that this was the field for you? Or like was it like a spur of the moment thing when you were in college?
Well, there were two aspects in my life that led me to engineering. And it was by coincidence and by influence. So let me explain. When I have a brother, so when we were kids, we would play together. My brother is 4 years younger than I. At that time, that's a big age difference. So we had a deal. We would play both with dolls, sort of traditional girls play, but we'll also play, strategy, even war. And also we had a very nice game called The Little Mechanic, and we will build structures with little tools. So we'll build bridges or other structures. And I enjoyed that very much from a young age. And then the second influence was from my father. Uh, he was not an engineer, but my father had to go to war and fight. And there when he was young, he became a communications engineer, an electrical engineer, basically. And he really liked it. And he was describing to me how much he liked the field. But he never studied to be an engineer. So these two aspects led me to engineering. And because I was motivated very much by solving or by dealing with very difficult and challenging fields. I chose chemical engineering at the time, and I really didn't know what it was. I later discovered what was my passion.
What's your like favorite part about this field now that you're, in it?
My favorite part, believe it or not, is not the engineering itself, the technical work, but it's the impact that engineering has in solving big societal problems. And when you see what can be done by solving engineering problems, it's just the world is wide open for you.
Yeah, for sure.
The impact can be tremendous, from creating new food resources or extending the food resources that we have on the planet, from affecting climate change, from affecting health and wellness, from preventing disease.
Work. So I just wanted to segue a little bit to the Vittorio de Nora Award, which you won in 2018. You're the first woman to ever receive this award, which is really cool. So I just wanted to congratulate you on that. And I want to know, did you ever think that you would be in the position to win this award? And what do you think like led up to this? Like what in your career do you think made you qualified for this award?
Well, not in my wildest dreams I would have thought that I would ever win such an award. And it's a great honor, and I'm very, very grateful. But the reality is that nobody on this earth walks alone. Everybody has help and works in teams, and especially in science and engineering. It is tremendous to be able to work in teams. The reason I received this award was not only because of my previous contributions. So let me explain a little bit. There were a lot of contributions that we made as a team, again, in the semiconductor industry. And when I was at IBM, we worked to change the metal of the computer chip of the interconnect. So the metal of the interconnect in the past was made out of aluminum, and we made this major change in material and changed to copper. And this took a small group of people initially to work on it, and later on a very large group of people to implement it, develop it, and manufacture it. But nevertheless, I was part of that team, and I'm very grateful that I was. And later on, I worked on a equally significant problem in renewable energy. So we created a group of people that helped a startup company from Europe develop and scale thin film solar cells. So I think these contributions led to people recognizing that I was worthy of the award, and I'm very grateful for that.
So now you are a mentor. You've worked on organizing Engineers Week, which is a program for K through 12 students. Why do you do these projects? Why do you think it's so important for you personally to, give back to the community in this way?
Oh, it's hugely important because unfortunately in our society, there are biases. I've seen teachers tell girls, you're not good in math. You're not good in science. Mm. And so it's hugely important to get as many people as we can to love science and engineering, and science and math. I wouldn't call it engineering yet. It's the basics. Yeah. Science and math is the foundation, and language for that matter. When the primary education, in my mind, should give a well-rounded education of everything. I don't think there should be a focus about giving everybody opportunity. And when you give the young minds opportunities and you open them up to the possibilities, they can conquer the world. They can really do amazing things.
Okay, so I know like engineering can be hard. Like you mentioned it a little bit. There's a lot of hardships that you can face while in this field. So when you felt like down or defeated, where have you been able to go, and where did you get like support when you needed it?
All the societies, professional societies, are tremendous support groups. And I want to mention the Society of Women Engineers, for example, is a great support group. But for me, a support group was the Electrochemical Society. This is a place where basically I grew up personally and professionally with other scientists and engineers, and it's a network of people who were outside my my workplace, basically. But other support groups that we had created at the time were the women's group in my work group in IBM. And actually, for a while, I was leading that. So that was another support group. But I also had mentors. And mentors are people that you can tell them anything, all your problems, and they can really give you a new perspective, a different perspective. So one of my mentors was my academic advisor, Dick Alcair. I have another mentor, Lubomir Romankiu, who was a colleague at IBM. And he was really very, very supportive of my work, but also he was a great collaborator. And there were other colleagues too, a lot of other colleagues that were my mentors, but even some of the younger colleagues were my mentors because they brought a completely different perspective, the perspective of their generation and how they view the problem at hand.
Yeah.
So you see, when you are down and you feel that there is a mountain in front of you that you cannot get over, when you see the perspective of another person, when you frame the problem in a different way, then you can overcome it.
So my last question is, do you have any more thoughts that you think would be helpful to a girl like me who's considering going into the engineering field, or really any of the things that you've done so far?
If I think it's possible, of course it's possible, and you should grab the opportunity and run with it. And you will succeed and more. The sky is the limit.
That's a great way to end this. It was so wonderful being able to talk to you today. You're really an inspiration. I was like researching all like this weekend, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, all this stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for allowing us to do this interview. And I'm sure people on the Engineer Girl website will also like really be inspired as well.